Have you gotten comfortable? Alright. The day has finally arrived. The day where I can finally tell the story of Edelweiss. But all stories have a beginning, and all stories have an end. So, this is how it begins. In the region known as Delwis, a human once traveled into a mysterious place. There, they heard a voice who told them something strange, a prediction of how the world would come to an end. The earthquakes would be the signifier, and following them, the moon would start to bleed and the sun would go dark. And so, the universe will summon free players and an emissary. I suppose there's no fun in a story when you already know how it's going to end. If only there was a way to bend fate. But you and I both know that would be impossible. After all, you've already been here twice before. Why would this time be any different? Is this thing on? Alright, now. Hola, and welcome all you fledgling trainers! If you're receiving this message, you have been successfully accepted into the Delwis Trainer Exchange! I'm sure you're already familiar with me, but if you're not, my name is Professor Donna Cherry, and I'm the resident Pokemon Professor of the Delwis region. Our region is full to the brim with all sorts of different places, people, and of course, Pokemon! Pokemon and humans have always worked together in tandem to reach newer strengths, and people who wish to strengthen that bond, we call Pokemon trainers. I'm looking forward to meeting the three of you in my lab tomorrow morning, and turning Delwis into your new home away from home. Ciao, trainers! The scene fades to you, the player, inside of the modest apartment that you have been staying in for the past week. However, today is a special day. It's finally the day that the Delwis Trainer Exchange officially begins, marking the start of your Pokemon journey. You take a quick peek at the photos stored on your bedside table. It's of you and your parents. Smiling, you pack your bag and travelling supplies and head down into the streets of Antares, your new home away from home. You check the map on your Rotom phone quickly before heading in the direction of Professor Cherry's research lab. As you enter, the professor waits at the end of the room, two other trainers in front of her turning around to look towards you. One looks nervous and the other looks excited. The professor is smiling. It seems like everyone here is accounted for. How has Delwis been treating you?
I'm feeling right as rain, Professor.
I'm, getting used to it. Well, go ahead. Let's all introduce one another. You are going to be travelling alongside one another after all.
My name is Emmett Palm. I'm from the Ascos region. He, him pronouns.
Hey up, nice meeting you, Emmett. I'm Isaac Sinclair from the Gala region. He, him pronouns work fine for me too.
And I'm Audrey Xavier, from Unova, she, her, but I've lived in Delwis for around a year. And you three should already know me. I'm Donna Cherry, but you can call me Professor. Moving on, you three are gathered here for one very special reason. You're the very first participants in the Delwis Trainer Exchange. It's a program that invites free trainers from across the globe to explore Delwis and learn about its wonderful culture. And everyone's Pokemon journey must start with something very important. A partner Pokemon to call your very own.
Oh, I'm so excited. Emmett, you go first. Nice. I'm picking water then.
Huh? Wait, does that mean I'm stuck with the other one? That's your very first step towards becoming a full-fledged Pokemon trainer. And now for the next step. Don't you want to try out your new Pokemon in a battle?
Yes, yes, yes! Emmett, me and you, let's go!
On Isaac's team, he uses the starter strong against yours. Let's imagine that you picked fire, so Isaac has the water type Bobat. After the fight concludes, Isaac laughs awkwardly.
Man, I should have picked differently, huh? But it's alright. I can already tell that me and Bobat are gonna be great together.
Cool. My turn then? Audrey steps forward, looking unenthused. On Audrey's team, she uses the starter weak against yours, in this case a Yikstuff. She sighs after losing. Well, that sucks. GG. I knew I saw potential in you three. Oh, and before I forget, here's step 3. Raise your Rotom phones, everyone. Welcome, all three of you, to the wonderful Delwis region. Since you all seem like such great battlers already, perhaps the Pokemon Gym Challenge could interest you. Of course, you're free to explore the Delwis region in any way you see fit. Don't feel pressured to fill out the Pokedex either. This is a journey that only you can decide to forge, and the options are truly limitless.
Then let's go! Come on, guys, follow me. I know a perfect spot.
You and Audrey nod, following Isaac to fade out the scene. He leads you towards a small park nested within the large city, named First Step Park. Here you can choose to either watch Isaac's catching tutorial, or go off on your own to search for a new Pokemon to add to the squad. You decide to do the latter, catching one of the park's Pokemon and adding it to your team.
And Bob's your uncle. You just caught a Pokemon. Welcome to the squad, Equal.
So, Emmett, was it?
Yeah?
When did you learn how to catch a Pokemon? I saw you throw that Pokeball Ailia with such ease. Did someone teach you?
Yeah, my cousin. He's a few years older than me, so around the time he started his journey, he taught me all the basics.
You're from Ascos, right? I suppose I'm not the only one here who's far away from home.
Didn't you say you lived in Delwis for a while?
Yeah, but that's because my mum lives here. Her and my dad don't really get along. I'll never understand why he moved back here. Still, Delwis is quite nice. I think you'll all grow to like it here. After that little scene concludes, the three of you reconvene and decide mutually to head off towards the first gym in your path, the grass-type gym of Sagas. But before you can reach that town, you pass through Route 1, also known as the Estrella Bridge, and the town of Delis.
Hey, guys, can you wait up a sec? I just need to say hi to someone.
Isaac runs off and the three of you follow as he stops at the door to one of the large apartment buildings in town. He presses the buzzer and a few moments later an older woman opens the door and looks surprised.
Isaac, honey! Are these two the other trainers you're going to be spending time with?
Yep, I just wanted to say bye. We're heading over to the Sagas gym.
And who might you two be? Emmett.
Audrey.
Oh! You almost look like someone I used to know. Well, honey, I hope you have fun. I have to make your sister some breakfast.
Okay. Love you.
Elena smiles before closing the door. As she does so, a scrap of paper flies out from under her feet, Audrey watching it before catching it before it can fly away. Hey, your mum dropped this. Audrey shows the group what she picked up. On closer inspection, some words seem to be written upon it. To know what you will think of me. Huh. I feel like I've heard those words somewhere before. But it's probably just some garbage.
Maybe we should keep a hold of it.
A strange scrap of paper. I wonder if the other pieces are out there somewhere. Guess you'll have to wait and see. After that small stop, the four of you continue towards your destination, the idyllic town of Sagas. Upon the horizon you can see a ruined castle standing high, and the streets are laced with paper cutouts of Pokemon hanging from house to house. Audrey and Isaac seem distracted, however, as the two are fixated on a strange statue in the centre of town. This thing is kinda giving me the creeps. Right, Isaac?
I kinda recognize this thing, but I don't know from where. The statue's not being kept in good shape either.
I know what it is. It's, a Pokemon called Valakwish. A real long time ago, there were 5 calamitous Pokemon who haunted the Delwis region, but the old Queen Aquila, made a spell that caused the 5 Pokemon to be fused into one being that would cause no harm. And that being is, Valakwish. Of course, not to scale.
Wait, who are you?
Tristan. I, researched the history of the Delwis region as a part of my treasure hunt.
Oh, so you're from Paldea? What brings you all the way here?
The history here is just, interesting, that's all. If I see you guys again, I could explain some more stuff, if you'd like.
Well, sure, Tristan.
Okay, Audrey, you and me, let's go check out the gym, okay?
Hey, why me?
Well, I guess that just leaves us. Would you like to battle? I have been trying to train my team up. Delwis is pretty different from Paldea.
You take Tristan up on this request, throwing the two of you into a battle. On Tristan's team, they use a Sprigatito and a Lechonk.
Guess I've got some more training to do. I'm gonna go check out the museum in this town. Do you want to meet me there after you take on the gym? There's some pretty interesting stuff in there, if you're interested. Here's my phone number, too.
Tristan pulls out their Rotom phone, registering you before departing. On their suggestion, you now head towards the gym in this town, which is set inside of a large botanical garden, dotted with tents and benches that many elderly folk are sitting down and chatting on. However, before you're able to enter, you're stopped in your tracks by a slightly older man who has a smile plastered upon his face.
Hey there! Welcome, trainer, to your very first gym challenge. My name is Gideon Guide, and I guide trainers through this whole shebang. Now, let me set up a trainer ID for you. Could you bring out your Rotom phone? Alright, that's you fully registered. Emmett Clover Palm, ID 412. Here in Delis, we don't have gym badges. We have these nifty things called gym discs. Check them out at any Pokemon Center PC whenever you have the time, alright? Moving on, I shouldn't really be telling you this since it's supposed to be a surprise, but Vernon, the gym leader here, uses both grass and ground types. All of his friends attending this party are all veteran battlers, so don't underestimate them. You'll probably find Vernon in his usual tea time spot near the back. Good luck, Emmett!
You nod in thanks before making your way through the gym. Each guest at the party uses a different grass-type starter, who all know a specific egg move that makes them more difficult to deal with. After battling through them all, you can reach the corner of the garden, where an old man and a much younger man are seen tending to some flowers, a Venusaur besides them.
Thank you so much for the help, Venusaur.
Thank you, Sage. I truly have nothing left to teach you.
Hey, Vernon! There's a new gym challenger already.
Why, hello there. Could I interest you in a private battle cup of tea? It always helps me calm my nerves.
Again? Vernon, this is your 4th cup today. You need to watch your blood sugar.
I suppose you're right. Trainer, don't think just because I'm old I'm gonna be easy to take down. Have at ya!
And with that, you're thrown into a battle against Gym Leader Vernon. On his team, he uses a Chespin, a Berry Bud, and his ace a Toadstool. After the battle is over, Vernon chuckles, and Sage applauds the two of you.
Whoa! I wish I could battle like that.
Well now, young trainer, you still could. I've been considering something, actually. I've been running this gym for the past 40 years. And seeing all my friends being happy like this, and seeing how far that you've grown throughout the years. Sage, how would you feel about becoming the new gym leader of Sagas?
Really? But sir, I could never live up to your legacy. What if I screw up somehow?
You won't just live up to my legacy, Sage. You'll be better. This gym will be in very good hands. So, take good care of the flowers for me, won't ya?
Of course! I will, sir. I won't let you down.
Well, Sage, as your first task as Sargas gym leader, how about you give this young trainer his reward for defeating me?
Can do. Congratulations, Trainer Emmett. You just earned the Turf Disc. It has one of Vernon's favorite Pokemon as the artwork.
I suppose the disc needs updating now. Well, good luck with your future ventures, young trainer.
And come back here as soon as possible for a rematch, too.
The two men wave you off as you leave, now having gained your very first gym disc. However, you suddenly remember that Tristan wanted you to visit the museum in this town, which you quickly discover is the large castle that stands upon the hill. Entering the building, you feel slightly on edge. You spot Tristan looking at an old painting and you approach.
Oh! You actually came! Do you want to hear about this painting? This is a painting of King Eric. He was the grandfather of Delwis's current queen. He was beloved by everyone, and he treated all of his subjects like equals. But then, tragedy struck. He went to visit his family in the Emerg region, and he died. He was then succeeded by his son, King Fabio. Fabio did a lot of really bad things. Pretty much everyone knows that he was a terrible ruler. Maybe that's why he, lost his power. Oh, You probably didn't know. Delwis is now ruled by Queen Claudia, Fabio's daughter. She's, not actually that old. I think she's only a few years older than you and I. She's been trying to make up for her father's mistakes, and in my opinion, I think she's been doing a really good job. I don't really talk too much about this kind of stuff, so, thanks for listening.
Listen, you say. The two of you are interrupted by another visitor of the museum. A person dressed in a white and pink suit with auburn hair and a strange look in their eyes. Hello there. You two seem to like history as much as I do, so I thought I'd introduce myself. Though, in my humble opinion, the past is haunted with so much negativity, is it not?
Yeah, I guess so. But I like learning about this kind of stuff, even if some of it is bad.
Honestly, when you've been around for as long as I have, the past and future start to merge together. It's better to look at the universe as having a beginning, middle, and an end. And with an ending, it's the start of something newer.
What?
Ah, I just remembered. I have places to be. It was nice to meet you, Tristan. And you too, player.
That was, really weird. And why did they just call you player? What did they just give you?
You take a look. It's similar to the scrap of paper that Audrey picked up.
But in my heart you'll stay. Do you know what this is at all? Do you think there's more of them? I wonder how that strange person got it. Let's explore the museum some more, okay?
The two of you leave the main room and walk down the hallway until it branches off into a new room, which you poke your head into. It seems like this room is the old throne room and looks abandoned.
Wow. This room is pretty weird, huh? I mean, it feels weird that nobody's actually in it. You know, that reminds me. This museum is the old castle of the Delwisian monarchy, right? They actually just finished building a new one for the new queen over in Shaula. Mostly because she asked for it, but also because this place was already in use. We should go and check out the new castle if we end up seeing each other there. Are you listening to me?
Tristan, can we leave this room now? You were right. It's weird in here.
Huh? But we just got here.
Let's just go.
After visiting the museum, you meet up with Audrey and Isaac, who seemingly just got here. Isaac smiles.
Hey, looks like we caught you at the perfect time. You ready to challenge the next gym?
Just go along with it, Ems. Can I call you Ems? After the three of you travel across Route 3, the marshland route that's also known as the Lwag Marsh, you approach the town that Marsh is named after, Lwag. Isaac walks ahead and looks around.
Where do you reckon the gym is?
I dunno, all the buildings are the same.
I know, right?
I was being sarcastic, Isaac. I think the gym is, you know, the really big hotel over there.
I, didn't see that. Thanks, Audrey.
As the three of you approach the large building, you see Gideon manning the door. He smiles.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite three trainers. A little Prinfrau told me that y'all are part of that Delwisian trainer program thing. Anyway, here is the Lwag Gym, run by Jeffrey Jackson. His family owns a large business based in Hoenn, and this hotel is part of that. As the gym leader, though, Jeffrey uses normal types.
Didn't you say that every gym leader uses 2 types?
About that. Jeffrey's told me to keep a secret this time. You'll find out pretty quickly, though, I think. Good luck, you three.
I get the feeling it'll be kept secret from the other gyms, too. Come on, you guys.
Isaac takes the lead. Jeffrey's gym, of course, is a hotel. You have to navigate your way through various rooms of the establishment, coming across many traps and diversions along the way, such as a fake pit in the hallway, a painting that seems to be watching you, a statue that teleports away when you look at it. It's almost like the hotel is haunted? On top of that, there seems to be no gym trainers, besides from one room. A young fairy tale girl and a gentleman who use a Mimikyu and a mask within a double battle. After they're defeated, they give you an odd smile. I'm Mimi. It's been so long since I fought someone. 10 years, in fact. Ignore her. She tends to lose track of time. I'm Yama. Well, ever since this hotel was built, I've had so much fun playing here. Can we go play with Jeffrey too? Perhaps after this trainer defeats him. I'm sure they will. The two suddenly disappear, leaving behind the Mimikyu and Yamask you just fought. After that strange encounter, you can finally come across what seems to be Jeffrey's office. Entering the room, you spot a blonde-haired man talking to a Pokemon made of straw. He turns around to face you and he smirks.
Hello there. Have you enjoyed the tricks I've laid out? All trainers that reach me swear to keep my secret, you know. They continue the lie that this place is a hotel. In truth, I see it as more of a haunted house. It's a funny story, really. This was a hotel originally, but it turns out that I accidentally disturbed some old spirits. And the haunted house makes lots more money than that old hotel ever did. So, either keep the secret, or you can play with us forever.
With that, you're thrown into a battle against Gym Leader Jeffrey, which, if you haven't guessed by now, uses both normal and ghost types. On his team, he uses a Porygon 2, a Hawaiian Lanoon, and his ace, the Made of Straw Haidansi. After you defeat him, he laughs jovially.
Oh, you looked so spooked. You don't think that I'm a ghost, do you? Of course I'm not. I just enjoy the company of the troublemakers that live here. Yama, Mimi, where have you put the other two trainers that came here?
We finally made it.
Yup. You sent us around in circles for so long!
Yeah, messing with us like that ain't fair.
Sorry about them. They tend to get carried away. Oh, Emmett, here's your prize for finding me.
A Porygon Z appears by your side, bopping you on the head, teleporting you to outside the hotel in a flash. You're slightly disorientated before you regain your senses. Your Rotom phone is ringing. Oh, Emmett, where are the other two? No matter, I'll call them later. There's an errand I need you to run if that's alright. I hear that in the town of Alnia, there's someone who knows information about the mythical Pokemon Xanmora. Xanmora is said to have been a Pokemon that was cursed to be in a perpetual state of grief, and her cries are said to bring tears to even the coldest of hearts. If you bring me some information on her, it would be really appreciated. The professor hangs up and you look towards the hotel, before deciding to leave without Isaac or Audrey. After walking down Route 4, you reach the town of Alniat, and now you have no idea where to start looking. The main building that catches your eye at the moment is the large cathedral, so you decide to step inside. Inside of the cathedral, it's deathly silent, as a few people are paying their respects. At the very front, a large stained glass window reflects many colours down onto the floor. The window depicts a yellow griffin looking down upon a pink bird who is glowing with a heavenly light.
You see that? That's the legendary Pokemon Emparmony. But I'm sure you already know all about that. The stories say that the legendary Emparmony, who originates from the Ascos region, flew to Delwis many years ago and granted a man and his Pokemon with a second chance at life. And, the Pokemon that was revived that day, I hear it became the Pokemon Celesteval, who harbors the same power as Emparmony. But nobody's seen Celesteval in a very long time.
Hey, do you happen to know anything about the Pokemon Xanmora?
Xanmora? I've never heard that name before. Sorry. Maybe someone else in this town knows, though? I learned the history of this window from one of the townsfolk. Oh, you're leaving? I'll be here then. I'm happy taking in the beauty of this window.
As you leave the cathedral, you're stopped by the appearance of Isaac and Audrey, the former pointing a Pokeball in your face.
Ems, you abandoned us in that creepy hotel. I'ma get my revenge by battling you.
Oh boy, here we go. Now that some time has passed, Isaac's team has improved, now featuring Chalava, his now evolved Hydroll, and a Tibbet.
Ah, you won again. That's fine. Have you found anything about Xanmora yet?
No.
Alright, let's split up then.
As your two friends depart, you suddenly get an odd feeling, sending a slight shiver down your spine. You can't quite explain it, but you feel like something is calling out to you. Or maybe even someone. You turn and your eyes focus on another route connected to the town, filled with scarlet trees. Following the trees into the Bergen bypass, you still can't shake the feeling of being cold. Eventually you stop, in front of a small decrepit well. Looking down, you see the shimmer of a small puddle of water at the bottom. I wouldn't lean too far over that if I were you. Hello again. Aren't you here a bit early, Emmett?
Early?
I suppose you wouldn't be able to remember that, would you? You wish to know about Xanmora. I'm not too fond of spoilers, but I'll tell you the half-truth for now. Xanmora, before she was cursed, was said to sing beautiful songs that could pacify even the most aggressive Pokemon. Pokemon like Valakwish, for example. Near this area is the place where Valakwish now rests. I could bring you to see it if you'd like. Behold, the Infinity Well. Do you hear that? Valakwish rests here, deep below the Delwis region. That creature, you can't help wonder if it must be lonely down there in the dark. Though, who knows? You and I both feel drawn to this area, as if another force is beckoning us. Perhaps there's something else down there. Have I got your attention now? I'm not talking to Emmett anymore. I'm talking to you! And I know you're listening, so here it is. I, Texas Rose, wish to rewrite this old tale. But not yet. Not this story. No, my story will be a much better one than this repetition you've decided to watch. Unlike you, I know how this story ends. You've always been so predictable, and I won't let your plans come to fruition, player. After the scene fades back, you inexplicably find yourself back inside of Alniat. Did all of that really just happen? You feel something strange in your pocket. It's a note scrap. This one says, "I wish that I could talk to you." A time does seem to have passed, as now in the center of town a group of strangely dressed people is gathered in front of someone standing on a raised wall. Upon making your way over to the commotion, you spot Isaac, Audrey, and Tristan waiting.
Attention, people of Alniat! It is I, your beloved Prince Penasco! I have heard of how many strange disasters seem to be sweeping the region currently. Rumors of earthquakes and tremors are scaring even Penasco. But I am here with the help of the Paragon Knights to make sure that you can all rest easy, knowing that we'll be here to help you no matter what.
Wait, earthquakes?
Was that what that sound was, Ailia?
Do not fear, dear citizens. We are currently talking with Queen Claudia herself to see what we can do about the tremors. To try and find out what's causing them. No need for alarm.
I think I know what's causing them. There's, this old legend about Valakwish and the end of the world. The earthquakes will be the signifier, and following them, the moon will start to bleed, and the sun will go dark. And so the universe will summon 3 players and an emissary.
That is simply just an old wives' tale, young trainer. Please, everyone, a solution will be found, or else my name isn't Prince Penasco. Come now, my knights. If you ever need assistance, don't be afraid to ask Paragon for help. Penasco thanks you.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be a downer.
Tristan, is what you said true? About the end of the world or whatever?
Well, like Penasco said, it's just a story. But the earthquakes are just worrying me. A lot of stories have at least some truth behind them.
So, if Valakwish is waking up, what can we do to stop it?
Xanmora. That must be why Professor Cherry asked us to come here. Before Xanmora was cursed, she had the power to quell Pokemon with her song. She must be the key to stopping Valakwish.
But you're saying before she was cursed. How do we, uncurse her?
I don't know.
Let's all lighten up a little. Who knows if that story is true, eh? Because if it isn't, then we have nothing to worry about. We have to go now, Tristan. See you around, okay? Guys, let's report back to the professor.
The scene fades you all now back inside of Professor Cherry's research lab, inside of the city of Antares. The professor seems slightly worried. You've just finished explaining what happened to her. That is concerning. I'm glad to know that my hunch about Zamora was right. You know, rumors say that her curse happened because she forgot the words to her own song. It may be linked to something that happened 50 years ago. 50 years ago? Are you talking about Borealis? Yes. You see, this is quite unlike what happened back then. 50 years ago, Valakwish awoke and turned Antares to rubble. The region was saved by a group known as Borealis, who played Zamora's song. The tune was destroyed soon afterwards. Whether it was on accident or on purpose, nobody knows. Imagine how Zamora felt afterwards. Her mission of defending the region against Valakwish couldn't be performed without that song, or without her human companion who allegedly died during Valakwish's attack. She was struck by immense grief, and you can guess what happened afterwards.
So, if we find this song, do you think Zanmoira will turn back to normal?
Perhaps, but the scraps of paper that the song has become now must be scattered across the Delwis region. It would be a near impossible task to find them all. Hey, actually, I think we might have already found some pieces of it. Isn't that right, Emmett? You realise what Audrey must mean? You present the professor with the free scraps of paper you've accumulated thus far. She takes a moment to analyse them, and then her face lights up. This is it, I think!
Not to interrupt, but why can't we just ask Borealis what lyrics are?
Isaac, that's not going to happen. Borealis split up years ago, and I bet they all hate each other by now. At least my mum and dad do.
Your parents were in Borealis?
Yeah?
So was my mum. That's like half of Borealis already. Don't you think we could convince them?
Isaac, they hate each other, trust me, we'll just have to find the note scraps. Moving on from that, I think the best course of action would be for you three to continue your journey around the Delwis region. It'll naturally bring you all across the region, so it might prove useful for finding more pieces of the song. Just, try not to take too long. Who knows when Valakwish will wake up. Sorry, if it wakes up. Yeah, that does sound like a good idea.
Audrey, is your mum the champion? Hey, it was just a question.
You decide to follow Audrey out. Conveniently enough, the third gym is within Antares, set within the HQ for Australia TV, the #1 radio/TV station on the Listen airwaves. As always, you're greeted by Gideon at the door.
Hey, Emmett, you kept me waiting. Here at Australia TV, some employees like to cool off during their breaks with a Pokemon battle, and everyone here loves electric types, the gym leader included. Her name is Katrina Turner. I believe she's currently in the middle of reporting the weather, so try not to get in the way of that too much, okay? Good luck.
On that note, you start to climb your way up Australia Tower, battling the board, crew and staff that are on break. After climbing up all 4 flights of stairs, you're met with the recording studio, as a woman stands in front of an interactive screen, facing a camera and its crew.
Remember, keep your umbrellas held tight, and keep all grass and fairy-type Pokemon safely inside. That's all for me, Walter. Whew. Ah, you must be a gym challenger. Now what's the forecast? I can see we're in for quite the storm. Our battle will be electrifying. Watch out for those gale force winds, too. Sorry, I shouldn't speak in weather terms so much. But, speaking of weather, have you ever been caught in a thunderstorm? Because I'd be happy to show you what one looks like.
With that, you're thrown into a battle against Katrina, who uses both electric and flying types. On her team, she uses a Wergen, a Dodrio, and her ace, a Delwis Altaria. This gym battle is slightly more difficult than the previous ones, as her Altaria causes an electric terrain to come into play, and Wergen and Dodrio's speed is no joke. Despite the thunderous conditions, you are able to come out on top, just before the train fades. Katrina's crew applaud you.
Ah, what a breath of fresh air. I always love fighting new trainers. It's a blast. Of course, only matched by the adrenaline of seeing a tornado up close and personal. Here, you earned this.
Katrina, do you know about the earthquakes?
Yeah, I've heard the stories about how Paragon have been making the rounds again. I'll tell you what, they might be the Queen's Knights, but they're such a handful, always getting themselves into trouble. Anyway, I'm not the best person to ask about earthquakes. The weather is my forte, not natural disasters. You should ask Spade about it, actually.
I think you should warn more people about them, though. Delwis might be in really big danger.
We don't want to cause mass hysteria, but I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
So, Valakwish is coming back, huh?
The scene fades to you now outside of the gym building as you spot Audrey waiting for you. Hey Ams, Isaac ran off without me, so do you want to hang? You shrug and Audrey takes that as a yes. Cool. Hey, how about a battle before we head off? We should probably be training to fight off Valakwish, if it ever comes to that. You agree as you're thrown into a battle against Audrey. On her team, she has Terraskid alongside a Favengo, a Scraggy, and a Hapstar. You defeat her and she smiles. Well, aren't you the hero?
A player.
Right. You're kinda weird, Ems. Let's head off to the next gym, shall we? And so we shall. The two of you head down Route 5, before discovering that the southern half of the route is currently being blocked off by a group of delinquents who are playing the TCG in the middle of the path. They're concentrating very intensely. Let's not interrupt their match. Instead of heading south, you head north, into the ruins of Gurtab. The town is in a state of disrepair, and many abandoned scaffolding structures lay around, giving the area a slight atmosphere of unease. Some more delinquents are seen hanging from the scaffolding, some chasing their Pokemon, some taking a snack break, and the delinquents on the ground are busy drawing graffiti over the top of previous graffiti. In general, the town seems to have fallen into chaos. This place is metal. The guys here seem to be enjoying themselves. Talk about a big canvas. What do you think happened here, Ems?
Maybe it was something to do with the Valakwish attack 50 years ago. This town is close to Antares.
Huh, you think? That's a pretty good observation. I would have never thought about that. Audrey trails off as she walks ahead, spotting what you can both assume to be the gym of this town. It's a skate rink that's the source of very loud rock music, and is the place most covered with graffiti of all kinds. Also, Gideon is standing in front of the establishment, which is always a telltale sign of where a gym is. He is wearing ear defenders.
Hey guys! The people in this gym use mostly poison types. They can get pretty rowdy, especially with these sick tunes playing in the background. Please defeat the gym leader of Ailia, Darius. I don't think I can take too much more of this noise.
You and Audrey nod. Within the gym, many of the delinquents act as gym trainers, wanting to defend their territory from intruders. A common Pokemon between the gym trainers is Grafai and Smeargle, the Smeargles all knowing poison-type moves like Toxic or Sludge Wave, of course. After defeating all the trainers, the music suddenly stops as all the broken streetlights surrounding the area turn on, revealing a girl dressed in a leather jacket and a tight-fitting dress.
Who dares encroach upon our bastion of creativity? Hey, you brought a friend? She seems cool. Hey, wanna join our crew, darling?
Are you the gym leader?
Of course I am. You know, you're the first challenger we've had in a while. You've got guts coming here, kiddo. Give my gang a good show, eh? I gotta show them how awesome their boss is.
Yeah, you go, boss! Woo!
Oh, thank you. Where was I? Ah, yes. Let's battle, interloper. See what happens when you mess with my crew.
And with that, you're thrown into a battle against gym leader Ailia. She uses poison types like the others, but her secondary typing is Psychic. On her team, she leads with an Enkerfair, followed by Grafai, Gotharita, and her ace, a Delwis Arbok. She specializes in status effects, throwing out Toxic and even Trick Room in order to try to disorientate you. In the end, you do win, and Audrey claps politely. Wow, so cool! Go Ailia!
Ah, shucks. Your friend's quite the charmer. I'm still offering that membership, by the way. A sweetie pie like you will fit right in.
I'll think about it, thanks.
Emmett, right? Gideon's been saying good things about ya. Here's your disc. Show this to any of my gang, and they'll know to respect you from now on. Can I be serious with y'all for a sec, though? I don't suppose you've heard of the Paragon Knights. They've been sneaking around this place recently. Dunno what they're trying to find here, because we scare them off every time. Anyway, people don't really talk about this, but Queen Claudia, she's not doing the greatest job, both in controlling her knights and in general.
Huh? Why is that?
Look around us, darling. This town was supposed to be rebuilt years ago, but Queenie's been focusing all her resources on building her fancy castles. Yeah, we've made this place home, but it'd be nice if we, had houses to live in. The guys here are all homeless. Cast-offs that she created because of her negligence.
How old is Claudia again?
18. Not like that matters, though. I'm the same age, and I bet I could rule a region better than her.
Sorry, 18? That's kind of young, don't you think? No wonder why she's struggling. You can't exactly pin all the blame on her, Ailia.
I'm just saying, if y'all ever meet her, don't fall for her gifts or flattery. It's an act.
Alright, noted.
Now, are you lot gonna scram? We need to clean up.
Ah, right. Could I come back sometime? To see you?
Sure. But don't push it, darling.
As the two of you leave, Audrey seems a little distracted as she keeps looking back towards the gym, smiling. And you feel your arm being dragged away by someone. It's Isaac. He looks serious, which is strange for him.
Hey, Emmett, what are you and Audrey up to? Where to see you two hanging out?
We were just...
You know that me and Audrey are best friends, right? Like, we got through Vernon and Jeffrey's gym together, and now she's with you. What exactly are you trying to pull?
What? I'm just spending time with her.
Well, that settles it. How about you and I spend some time together instead? Audrey seems preoccupied anyway.
Can't we go together with her?
Hey Isaac, sorry for not waiting for you. I thought you went ahead.
It's fine. Let's all go to Grafas together, okay? Then we can all spend time with each other.
As the three walk down Route 5 together, there's an awkward silence between them. Audrey strikes up a conversation to break the tension. So, what brings you two all the way to Delwis? Why join the Delwis and Trainer exchange?
Well, that's easy for me. My mum comes from here. She was part of Borealis too, when I was a kid. She always told me stories about her fight against Valakwish. I always dreamed of doing the same. Guess I maybe will.
My mom told me those stories too. It's a funny coincidence that we're both here, isn't it? What about you, Emmett?
Huh? It's kind of complicated. It's weird, but I've been meaning to get away from stuff at home, so I wanted to leave Ascos and travel to another region. Delwis was the only one that really stood out to me, and the Delwisian Trainer Exchange program was a plus. I don't know. I kind of felt like I had to be here for some reason. Something was calling me.
That's not really that weird. I felt that way too.
Me free. Huh. Maybe it was fate or something, eh? Something out there brought us together.
Arceus?
Maybe. Or maybe it was in Harmony.
Or maybe something else.
The scene faces the three of you now inside the town of Grafas, as a film set is currently set up, many Australia TV staff members running to and fro and shouting orders, as they seem to be preparing for a shoot. Besides from that, the very evident gym building, with Gideon standing outside, is plastered with all sorts of advertisements, all seemingly from Australia TV shows. But before you're able to explore the town yourself, you're interrupted by the appearance of a very familiar individual. Did they say their name was Texas Rose? Ah, Emmett! We seem to keep on meeting in the strangest of places. Emmett, you know this guy?
Not really.
Don't say that, old friend. Me and Emmett know each other very well. You three seem a bit lost and confused. Perhaps you're in need of an emissary. Oh well. Say, I heard that you three have been looking for Xanura's song. Would this perhaps be part of that song? Yeah, that looks like a piece of it. I thought as much.
Hey, how did you know we were looking for those?
I work for the professor, you see, and me and her are old friends, so understandably, I already know about you three. Audrey, Isaac, and Emmett, correct?
That's us.
I do have one request, though. Emmett, would you mind battling me? You seem to be a bit hesitant before accepting the request. You're thrown into a battle against the mysterious assistant to the professor, and on their team they use a Gothita, a Delwis and Curlia, and a Galarian Farfetch'd. After you defeat them, they continue to smile, as always. Ah, what a wave of familiarity. That feeling is only fleeting, though. I thank you, Emmett. Now I know what kind of power will stand against Valakwish in the end. So the rumors are true? Is Valakwish really— no, that's not what I meant. You'll see in due time, young trainer. I'll take my leave now. Tex hands you the note scrap before walking off.
Hey, that song sounds familiar. What is it?
My mom used to sing it to me. That was before she—
My mum used to sing that too. Is that the tune of his song then?
I think so. I just wish I could remember the name of it, though.
I suppose we'll find out eventually, eh? Hey, why don't you two go ahead? I'm gonna go do some investigating.
Are you sure you want me and Audrey to do that?
Huh? Of course I do, Emmett. Why would he ever have a problem with that?
That guy was really weird, huh? Are you sure you don't know them?
No. But they seem to be following me.
That reminds me of someone else who seems to be following us. Audrey glances towards the gym building and walks over to introduce herself to Gideon, who seemingly hasn't been paying attention to the events that just unfolded. He perks up upon seeing the two of you.
Oh, hey there. It's strange to only see the two of you. Where's your Galarian friend?
He'll catch up. Gideon, how do you always know where we are? You always seem to be one step ahead of us.
Well, I just take a guess. Whenever you guys complete a gym, I take a squawkably taxi over to the next gym ASAP. Then, I wait.
You seriously wait that long?
Just so I can continue my job as gym guide? Yup.
That's some real dedication. Could you tell us about this gym then?
Sure I can. Cecil D'Angelo works for Estrella TV just like Katrina does. He hosts his own talk show every night, and his favorite segment is the Gym Battle Power Hour, where he uses his fairy-type Pokemon in order to thrash challengers. Though he may seem all polite and nice, be careful once you battle him. Good luck, you two!
Thanks, Gideon.
No problem!
With that explanation over, you enter the gym building, a filming studio filled with all sorts of equipment, and like Katrina's gym, a lot of the on-break crew members are itching to battle. The gym trainers all use baby Pokemon such as Cleffa, Igglybuff, and Papupa. After making your way through the swerving corridors, you enter a dark room. Before the stage lights blind you, some music starting to play over the speakers.
Hello and welcome back from our short break! It's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Gym Battle Power Hour! Hey there, Sunshine! What's your name?
Emmett?
Welcome to Cecil Talks, Emmett. Don't mind the theatrics. It's just for show. Let's make this a battle to remember, okay? Now, loyal viewers, prepare to be amazed!
As the cameras flash, you're thrown into a battle against Gym Leader Cecil, who on his team uses a mixture of Fairy and Dragon types. His team includes the likes of Appleton, Wigglytuff, Fervengo, and his ace, a Dazzsnap. His team utilizes setup moves like Reflect, Apple Acid, and the new move Fireworks in order to level the playing field. But as always, you defeat the gym leader, causing an audience applause track to play.
Wow, what a blast that was! Well, that concludes our first Gym Battle Power Hour of the night. Come back after the break for round 2. I'll see you all then. You came with a friend, right? I don't suppose you and her would have the time for an interview after this? It'll be low stakes, I promise. Oh, and here.
Hey, what's going on here?
Ah, hello. Sorry, but we're currently on commercial break. You must be the next gym challenger, yes?
That's right.
Why not sit down and relax for a minute? Oh, and are you okay with being interviewed before our battle? Your friend has already agreed.
An interview? Yeah, sure, whatever, why not?
Welcome back! I apologize, but we'll be interrupting your scheduled gym battle power hour with an exclusive interview from some of my gym challengers. Woo! So, introduce yourself to our audience.
Emmett Palm.
Audrey Xavier.
Xavier? My! Everyone, it's an exclusive appearance from Champion Saphira's daughter!
Yeah, my mom's the champion, so what?
Tell me, Audrey, what brings you out here on a gym challenge? And what are your mother's thoughts on?
What? My mom knows nothing about this. She'd go crazy if she found out. Though odds are she's probably watching the show right now, huh? Cecil, could I make a statement?
Go ahead.
Alright, here I go. Champion Saphira, if you're listening to this is Audrey, your daughter. I just wanted to say, you suck as a mom! You never cared about anything I do, and even when I try to tell you, you always shut me down! So I'm finally doing what I want for a change. I don't care about you or your stupid opinions. I'm having a lot of fun on my journey. A journey you probably wouldn't even let me on. I hate you!
Whoa! Calm down, young trainer! But the ratings just went up. Continue.
Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I've always wanted to say that kind of stuff to her face, but I've never really had the guts before. She gets kind of scary sometimes.
What is your relationship with your mother like, if you don't mind me asking?
My dad and her divorced a few years after I was born. My mum started to distance herself, you see. And my dad didn't like that, so he distanced himself too. I've been brought up by my dad in Unova ever since then, but about a year ago my dad decided to move back to Delwis. No idea why.
Do you think he'd want to rekindle his relationship with your mother?
Ew, no! Why would he ever do that? I don't know, maybe he's just nostalgic for the memories he made in Delwis. The good ones, I mean. Borealis broke up a while back, and I know my dad was really crushed about it. That was also due to my mom, by the way.
So Saphira ordered Borealis to split up. Now, I have one remaining question for you, Audrey. Do you know where the medallions are?
The what?
Valakish's medallions. They're said to be mystical objects that have the power to control that beast. Now, I'm not one for circulating rumors, but I've heard the whispers from beyond these walls. If Valaquish were ever to awaken again, it's said that the power of the medallions can quell it. And the last time they were seen were with Borealis, 50 years ago.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know anything about—
Did someone say medallions?
Hey, what a twist! It's the leader of Team Paragon, Prince Penasco.
Team Paragon? That sounds a bit uncouth. We prefer the Paragon Knights, thank you very much. We come here to make an important announcement. Single file, everyone.
Hang on, this is my show!
No, it's Penasco's show now. Listen well, people of Delwis. Your lovable Prince Penasco has been made aware of a threat that could endanger our entire region. An old wives' tale come true. Something about earthquakes, a bleeding moon, and the awakening of Valaquish.
Hey, that's what Tristan told you.
Who's this Tristan you speak of, Emmett? The great Penasco discovered this all on his own. Now, Delwis, won't you rise to fight this calamity? The calamity that Estrella so callously hides from the public eye? Please, as defenders of Her Royal Majesty, we wish for everyone to rally together and find the medallions as soon as possible. They can put an end to this threat and save the Delwis region.
That's what I said! Cut! Paragon, what is the meaning of this? You're going to cause mass panic!
Panic? We're keeping everyone safe from the threat.
You clearly know nothing about how to handle threats then. Come on, Emmett, let's teach this guy a lesson.
Fine, I see how it is. So Estrella will convince simple gym challengers to fight in their stead? Pathetic. Well, I'll humor you. But don't start crying when you lose. Madison, get over here!
Yes, sir!
You and Audrey prepare yourselves as you're thrown into a battle against Prince Penasco and one of the Paragon Knights. The Knights and Penasco use a mixture of fairy and light types. The Knight uses a Cottony and a male Hunray, and Penasco uses a Ground Bull and his ace a Mr. Rhyme. They seem almost too easy to defeat, as if they've never battled properly before. Or it might just be a case of you having gym discs and them not. Either way, the battle comes to close with Penasco looking a bit confused.
I wasn't supposed to lose that. Queen Claudia's gonna be upset.
Hey, speaking of Her Majesty, she's really outdone herself as she hires idiots like you.
Hires? I'll have you know that you're talking about my sister! She is trying her best!
Well then, tell your sister that she has a pathetic excuse for her brother.
Why, you insolent! The Queen will be hearing about this!
Penasco storms off in a temper. Cecil sighs in relief.
Thanks for that. But, I'm doomed. My boss will probably dock my paycheck for this.
Hey, if anything, it's my fault. I brought up Borealis in the first place.
You know, I am on good terms with Cody. I could see if he's free to, help us with our predicament. And Audrey, you already know Dimitri and Saphira, since they're your parents. Do you have any idea how to contact Cornelia?
If you're thinking about trying to get Borealis back together, I doubt it's going to work. I cannot understate the amount that my dad hates my mum for what she did. I'm sure everyone else does too. But I do know where Cornelia is. She's on a comedy tour right now, and I hear Delwis is her next stop.
Well, I think it's worth a shot. Even if Borealis doesn't get along anymore, surely they can't refuse reuniting for a purpose such as this.
But do they even remember the song?
Good point. You two should leave, by the way. I'll see if I can contact Cody or Cornelia, okay?
Yeah, good luck. Everything seems to be going well so far, even with the new additions. Though, I didn't expect them to be so prevalent here. They were only supposed to appear in the museum. But it doesn't matter how we get to the ending. It will happen. But for now, I must rest.